Hello, everyone. This is Terry Carl, Life Mastery Consultant. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday weekend. And today I would like to talk about value. So, when you think about value, what first comes into your mind? What image? For me, the first one is money, which I believe most people would think of. Money and things that cost money. And the other one that's pretty big is time. And something that we discuss in our vision workshop and in our coaching is the four quadrants. And the big value one I would say is time and money freedom. That's a bugaboo for a lot of people. So what I'd like you to think about today, and I'm going to talk a little bit myself about it, is how is the inflow for you in time and money? And how is the outflow for you in time and money? What does that look like in your life? What do you place value on? And what kind of value are you willing to receive? So, for example, take a look at your income. Income is a reflection of the value that you are receiving and what you are willing to receive. For me personally, my first job as a teacher, I realized as I was getting ready to leave that I didn't think I was worth what I was receiving in money. And I know it's sad, but it was a good realization for me. I started recognizing the thoughts behind how I felt about teaching. I realized that I thought I had gotten the job because of a connection I had, that maybe I didn't even deserve it. And I think that was a big reason why I ended up pushing myself out and leaving. And soon after that, I took on tutoring and I took on some part-time jobs, and my amount of income started to match more of how I saw myself and how much value I thought I had, to the point where I actually worked in a warehouse for a year. And part of the reason I worked in the warehouse was because I just wanted to clear things out and just have a very physical job. But I realized that another part of the reason that I was there is because that's how much value I had for myself. That's how much I felt I was worth. And when I first started in the warehouse, I was making just over minimum wage. So that's how low my self value was. And soon after that, when I left and realized I have a little more value than this, I took on some entrepreneurial jobs as well as continuing with tutoring. I still was not as successful as I wanted to be, and I saw that it was still related to value and how I was not allowing myself the value. And over time, I've come to see a shift. In tutoring, it's been very clear for me as I've slowly raised my rate, and I have had people attempt to haggle with me on my rate, and I won't do it because I've seen that there are people who really do value me, and I've felt the resentment at imagining taking on that lower rate. I realize it's just not acceptable to me. I value my time more than that. And that's still something I'm working on. So I encourage you to take a look at that, and also take a look at your time. What is your time worth to you? And what are you putting in your calendar? Because that is a good indication of where your attention is related to your time and what you value. And if you need to switch things around in your calendar, what's the first thing to go? So for example, for me, with a lot of times with my tutoring appointments, that sticks. I don't move that around. But if I have something that's maybe something enjoyable for me, I'm willing to push that out for work or for whatever may come up with my charity organizations or whatever. So that's another indication of how much you value yourself, because that's your time, that time for yourself that you're moving around. So what is really important to you, and how much are you valuing all those parts of yourself that need the playtime and that need the exercise time for your health? Do you value your health? Do you value that inner spirit that needs to play? So I encourage you to take a look at that as well, and also take a look at, do you even have it on your calendar? Because I don't. I realized I don't have meditation on my calendar. I don't have playtime on my calendar. And when I went to a training just recently for this coaching, for consulting, I remember Mary Morrissey saying it's important to give yourself one day, a whole day out of the week, just to do whatever you like to do that day. And that, I couldn't even conceive of that. I thought, I can't even imagine giving myself 1 hour where I allow myself to think and do whatever I want without feeling guilty or thinking I should be working. And that's really sad. So that's something that I'm working on. Up until now, that's been an issue, and that's something that I'm changing. So again, I'd like you to take a look at that. Take a look at what do you have on your calendar? Are you giving all the parts of yourself, your health, and your playtime? Are you giving yourself the time that you need? What are you moving around in your calendar, and what are your boundaries? What are you not willing to move? And what are you willing to accept value-wise as far as your time and your money? And I encourage you to set up what you would love so that you have the life that you love living. I hope you've had a wonderful holiday weekend and have a beautiful rest of your week. Much love, many blessings.